Today is the day I've been waiting for such a long time. The Jaclyn Hill Morphe Palette. Ever since we heard about the collaboration between Morphe and Jaclyn Hill, I was just like, I need to try that palette. I've personally been a massive Jaclyn Hill fan for a very long time. I think she's extremely talented. I actually bought the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette from Morphe as well. So I've always been really in love with Jaclyn Hill, and you just know that when she is doing something, it has to be 100% amazing. I'm actually wearing the Jaclyn Hill Becca highlighter today, Champagne Pop. Okay. So when I heard about the collaboration, I knew that I needed to try it out. I needed to have it in my life, and now it's finally here and I can't wait to try it. First, some basic info about the palette. You get 35 colors ranging from really neutral ones to really colorful ones. I love these colors down here. I love there's such a big variety of shades, and as far as I believe and as far as I've heard from Jaclyn Hill, it is a new kind of formula of eyeshadows, which is why it also took like around 2 years to produce. And you get a good variety of both mattes and shimmers in this palette, which I really do love. I love that you can do so many different looks. As I said, you can do very neutral looks, you can do colorful ones, out there ones, smoky ones. I think the only thing that's kind of like missing from the palette is a straight up white color, because these over here are more of a beigey, yellowy undertone. So you don't have the basic white color, but you do have a black one, which I appreciate very much. The actual packaging of the palette is really beautiful. It says the Jaclyn Hill palette on the front, and it is like this cardboard material, which I think is very nice. They tried to make the packaging as beautiful as even possible, but as low cost as even possible. So instead of paying for impeccable glass packaging or whatever, you actually pay for the actual product and the actual eyeshadows. And in total there are 56.2 grams of eyeshadows in here. I think that is quite a lot, but you also do get 35 shades, so there is so many shades that you can try out, so you will not run out of this one in any foreseeable future. So even though I do find the palette a bit expensive compared to that it's a Morphe product, I still do think that you get a lot for the money. Actually, one more thing that I just want to mention that maybe is a bit disappointing to me, because I love being creative. The shadows don't have any names. And I know that Morphe isn't known to do that at all, but I just think that it's such a nice detail when an eyeshadow has got a name. For example, that one could have been called Aquamarine or something like that, you know, just to make it a bit more fun, because right now, when I have to use, like, for example, that color in the middle, I can't tell you all the color called Honey Lust or whatever. I just miss that there was that kind of detail with the palette as well, that they all had individual names instead of just being a color and a white color, blue color, whatever. You don't get a mirror, which is kind of like so I think they could have spent some money to like place a mirror in here, because look how big the palette is. It would be really nice if there were some sort of a mirror in here. Time for some swatches, guys, of the eyeshadows. And for swatches, I'm using No Primer and the lightest Eye Diviner brush and the Urban Decay flat brush. test and see if it's worth 2 years of waiting. And as a base on my eyelids, I've just been using some concealer. It was the NARS Soft Matte Creamy Concealer that I used. It is so good for your eyelids. But that's the only thing that I'm gonna be using for a primer. I feel like that eye primers, they don't really work that well on me at the moment. I don't know why. I know it sounds crazy, but concealers, they work better for me as eye primers than eye primers do. So firstly, I feel like warming up my crease. I'm gonna be using that color right there. Once again, I can't even give you a name. And this is a matte, and it doesn't seem to pick up too much. So let's see if there's any fallout. There isn't too much dustiness or anything like that. It doesn't seem to be a very powdery shadow, but do bear in mind that matte shades are often a bit more powdery than, for example, glittery or shiny ones. And I'm using a Sigma E25 blending brush. And I'm gonna be using it in my crease. Seems to be a very nice shade. It's not too visible on my skin, but it's definitely a great transition color. If you are a bit paler, obviously remember that it will be a bit darker on you. It really depends on whether or not you've got a tan or if you're dark in your skin or pale. Next up, I'm gonna be using the same brush and then dip into that color right there, which is kind of like an orangey yellowy color. And once again, I don't feel like that it picks up too much product. Let's just see. No, it's fine. Most shadows will have a teeny tiny bit of fallout, but it really depends on how you use the palette, how rough you are, and also how the shadows have been produced and pressed and so on. Gonna be grabbing the vibrant orangey red right there. Ooh. And applying it in the outer corner crease area. I like this color very much. And once again, I don't feel like there's any bad fallout or anything like that. It performs really well. And because I asked you guys on my Snapchat a while ago which kind of look you want to see from me, and you said a colorful one with this palette, I am gonna be using that color down there, this really beautiful deep blue color. And this is a shimmery color, which is so stunning. I can't even. I could obviously use my finger to apply it, and that's what I normally would do, but let's just try to use a flat brush. This is max to, what are you called? 239 maybe? I'm not sure. There isn't any fallout that I can feel. Ooh, that is so pretty. And I'm just really pressing it down onto my eyelid, not dragging too much. And no fallout. That's nice. That's actually really impressive. Right now it looks kind of crazy, I know, but I'm gonna be using the lilac color or the purpley color right there. And I'm gonna be using that in my inner corner and outer corner. And for that I'm using the Luxe Smoky Shader from Zoeva. See how much it picks up? Around that much. I feel like that you have to go a bit back and forth between the shadows. They're not crazily buttery or smooth in any way, but they still have a really nice pigmentation, as you can see. This purpley color is really beautiful once it gets on. However, I will say that it's got a bit more of shimmery, bigger shimmery particles in there, like sparkly particles, which means that it's not as pigmented. You need to work a tiny bit more with it than with the blue color. At least that's my observation. And I have got some fallout right here from the purpley color. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it's definitely there. Then I'm just gonna be using a mixture of that one and that one in my crease just to blend it out. And I'm using my Zoeva Luxe Soft Definer brush. So to be fairly honest, I was not totally in love with the purpley color, and it also did give me some fallout, which I'm not really that happy about. I'm sorry if it's really noisy right now, but we've got a truck right outside my window. Thank you so very much. And in my mind at least, it just felt a bit more stiff and a bit less pigmented in my mind, and I don't know. I mean, you can see that it's purpley definitely, but it's just not, it's not up to par as with the blue color. The blue one was amazing. So my experience with these shimmery eyeshadows is that there is a difference between each and every one of them. We've got a baby crying right now. No. And I think I'm just gonna be using a tiny bit of my aquamarine color down there. Just once again in the middle, just to make my blue color a bit more intense. And for underneath my eyes, I'm not going to be doing too much because we've got so much going on up here. So I'm just going to be using a mixture of that one and that one and that one. So all matte shades. And I'm using a MAC pencil brush 219. And just for underneath my brow and just up here, just to clean out a tiny bit, I'm going to be using that color up there mixing with that one. There's somewhat of a tiny bit shimmery, but not shimmery. And the last finishing touch is just a Minokono highlight. I was contemplating on whether or not to do it, but I think I'm going to be doing it. And I'm going to be using that pinky shade up there. It is a sparkly, shimmery one. Using a little, what's it called, smoky eyeliner from Bobbi Brown. I feel like this color's got the same pigmentation as with the blue one. Really pigmented and very buttery as well. Such a nice texture. So I think this is the eyeshadow look done. I just have to apply some lashes, I have to apply some mascara. So I'm just gonna be fast forwarding the next part, but you can still see what I'm gonna be doing. Makeup look. I really hope that you like it. I think it is so pretty. I just applied some fake lashes, some bottom lash mascara, some liner up here, tight lining, and then some lippy things, and then these small rhinestones right here. I think this is such a stunning look, and honestly the palette was such a great one. I really enjoyed using it. The only color that I really felt a bit meh about was the purpley color because it had a lot of fallout. I can still see that I've got a tiny bit of fallout over here and here. So I would say that if you're gonna be using that color in particular or some of the other shimmery shades, definitely do your eye makeup before doing your foundation and so on. I feel a bit stupid that I didn't do that because the fallout over here is not that pretty. I don't know if you'll be able to see how much I've digged into the purpley color just to get some color payoff from it. So that is the most disappointing shade in this palette for me so far, but I am definitely gonna be doing some more looks with this palette because I want to try out all of the different shades. Honestly, I've been using a lot and I am very happy with most of them. I think they're very pigmented, great to work with, great to blend as well. They're not as stiff as I thought they were gonna be, and the matte shades really impressed me. I didn't expect them to be that nice to work with, so that is a huge thumbs up. But that was actually all for this video and this first impression / review of the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I am really happy with it. I'm definitely going to be using it again. I think that there's such a great color variety in that palette, and that is what makes me so drawn to it, and I can definitely recommend it if you're looking for a palette that has got everything in there except for a white color, then that is definitely a really great palette to go for. And I feel like that when you've got this palette, you've got all of the shades that you really need to create any kind of looks. But thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. I love you all to the moon and back and everywhere else. Mwah.